Okay, this is chapter 21 of As Good as Dead. 21. This is Telco Link prepaid call from Becca Bell, an inmate at FCI Danbury. Please note this call will be recorded and is subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 1. To block all future... Pip pressed 1 so fast she almost pushed the phone right out of her hands. Hello? She raised it to her ear again, her leg bouncing uncontrollably against the desk, rattling the cup of pens on tap. Becca? Hey, Becca's voice came through faint at first. Hey, Pip, yeah, I'm here. Sorry, there was a bit of a line. How are you doing? Yeah, good, Pip said, her chest constricting uncomfortably with every breath. Good, yeah, fine. You sure? Becca said, a hint of concern pulling up her voice. You sound a bit jittery. Oh, too much coffee, you know me, Pip said with a hollow laugh. How are you? How's French going? Good, yeah, she said, then added, très bon, with an amused sniff. And they just started up yoga classes this week. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, and I went with my friend. Remember I told you about Neil? Becca said, so yeah, that was fun, although it's made me realize how incredibly not bendy I am. Something to work on, I suppose. Becca's voice was bright. It always was. Pip might even describe it as close to happy. She found it strange, the idea that Becca might be happier in there than she would be out, because she had chosen to be there. In a way, she'd pleaded guilty even though her defense team had been confident that if they went to trial they could have avoided jail time. It always struck Pip as odd that someone would choose to be there as Becca had. Maybe it wasn't a cage, not to her. So, Becca continued, how is everyone? How's Nat? Yes, good, Pip said. I saw her a week and a bit ago. Her and Jamie Reynolds. They seem to be doing really well, actually. Happy. That's good, Becca said, and Pip could hear the smile accompanying her words. I'm glad she's happy. And have you made my decision about the libel lawsuit yet? Truthfully, she'd almost forgotten about it. DT taking up too much of her brain, winding round and round it like tape. Christopher Epps' card was still sitting ignored in that same jacket pocket. Well, Pip said, I haven't spoken to my lawyer since, or Max's. I've been a bit distracted. But I already told them my answer. I'm not recanting and I'm not apologizing to him. If Max wants to go to a full trial, that's on him. But he won't get away with it twice. I won't let him. I'll testify, Becca said, if it happens. I know I already told you that. People need to know what he is, even if it's not a criminal trial, not real justice. Justice. The word had always tripped Pip up, brought the blood out on her hands. That word was her prison, her cage. One glance down, and yes, there Stanley was, bleeding out across her hands. She could talk to Becca about him if she wanted to. Someone else who knew as much as Someone else who knew him as more than Child Brunswick. Becca and Stanley had even gone out twice before deciding to just be friends. Becca could listen, even if she couldn't understand. But no, Pip didn't have time for that, not now. Becca, she began unsteadily. I actually need to ask you something, quite urgent. I mean, it's not going to sound urgent, but it is. It's important, but I can't really explain to you, not on the phone. Okay, Becca said, some of the shine now gone from her voice. Are you okay? Yes, fine, Pip replied. It's just, well, I need to know what Andy called her first hamster. Becca snorted, taken aback. What? It's a security question. Do you remember what she called her first hamster? A security question for what? Becca asked. I think Andy had an email account, a secret one, the one the police never found. Andy Bell 94, Becca said. The words in one quick stream. That was her email address. The police definitely asked about it at the time. This is another account she used, and I can't get on it unless I answer the security question. Another account? Becca hesitated. Why are you looking into Andy again? What's going on? I don't think I can say, Pip said, holding down her knee to stop her leg from rattling. This call is being recorded, but it might be something important to me. She paused, listening to the light swell of Becca's breathing. Life or death, she added. Rhodey. What? Pip said. Rhodey, that was Andy's first hamster. Becca sniffed. I don't know where she got that name from. She got him for her 6th birthday, I think. Maybe 7th. I got one a year later and called him Toady. Then we got our cat Monty, who ate Toady, but her hamster, he was Rhodey. Pip's fingers thrummed. Ready. Roady, she asked. No, EI, Becca said. Is everything okay, really? It will be, Pip said. And It will be, Pip said. I hope. Did Andy ever mention someone called Harriet Hunter to you? A friend? Silence down the line. The background hum of nearby voices. No, Becca said eventually. I don't think she did. I never met anyone called Harriet. Not that Andy ever really had people over at the house. Why? Who is she? Becca, listen, Pip said, her fingers fidgeting against the phone. I'm going to have to go. I'm sorry, there's something, and I might not have much time, but I will explain everything to you when it's over, I promise. Oh, yeah, that's okay, she said, her voice less close to happy now. Are you still coming to visit next Saturday? I put you down on the log. Yes, Pip said, her mind already straying away from Becca back to the computer screen and the security question waiting for her. Yep, I'll be there, she said absently. Good luck, Becca said, and let me know you're okay when you can. I will, Pip said, and she could hear it now too, the jittering edge in her own voice. Thanks, Becca. Bye. She did drop the phone this time, pushing the button too hard, the phone sliding right off her blood-slick palm. Pip left it there on the floor, her fingers finding their way to the keyboard. To R and then O and on. Rhodey. Andy Bell's first hamster. Invisible blood smears across the trackpad as Pip guided the on-screen arrow to the next button. A page loaded, telling her to create a new password and to retype it in the box below to confirm. The feeling in her chest changed again, fizzing as it came into contact with her skin. What password should she use? Anything, just hurry up. The first thing that came into her mind was DT Killer 6. At least she wouldn't forget it. She retyped it and clicked to confirm. An inbox opened up, not enough emails to even fill the screen. Pip exhaled. Here it was, Andy Bell's secret email account, preserved after all this time, untouched except by her. Pip had that feeling again in her spine, like she was out of her own time, untethered. It was immediately clear why Andy had made this account. The only emails she'd ever sent and received were to and from Harriet Hunter. That must have been the reason Andy made the account, but it still wasn't clear why, what her connection to Harriet and DT was. Pip clicked through the emails, reading the same messages Harriet had showed her, from Andy's side this time. Nothing new here. No explanations, no lifelines. There were only 8 messages back and forth, all under the same subject line. Hi. There had to be something else here. Anything. Andy had to help her. She had to. That's why everything was leading back to her, coming full circle. Pip clicked out of the primary inbox into social. There was nothing here, just a blank page. She tried the third option, promotions, and the page filled with lines and lines of emails. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Okay. All from the same sender, self-defense tips. Andy must have subscribed to their email list at some point. She'd been getting the emails, one every week, long after she was already dead. Why was Andy looking at a self-defense newsletter? Pip shivered. Had Andy believed she was in danger? Had part of her known she wouldn't make it past 17? That same inevitable feeling that lived inside Pip's gut. Pip checked down the sidebar. There was nothing in the trash, no deleted emails. Damn, come on, Andy. There had to be something here. Had to be. There was a connection here, and Pip was the person supposed to find it. She knew it, that unknowable thing. Things falling in line the way they were always supposed to. Her hand drew up suddenly as her eyes caught on a number in the sidebar. The small one hiding next to the drafts folder. So small and slight, like it had been trying to hide from Pip's prying eyes. An unsent draft. Something Andy wrote. What was it? An unfinished message to HH? Maybe nothing at all. Maybe just blank. Pip clicked to open the drafts folder, and there it was, waiting for her at the top. One unsent email, and she could already see it wasn't blank. The date on the right-hand side marked it as being saved on February 19th, 2014. The subject line said, "From Anon." Pip's chest constricted, and there was a strange rattling in her breath now as she wiped away the blood from one hand and opened the draft. To whom it may concern, I know who the DT killer is. I've never said it out loud. Not to anyone, not even just to myself. It's only been a thought in my head, growing and growing, taking up more space until it's all I can think about. Even writing it out here feels like a big step. It makes me feel slightly less alone in this, but I am alone in this. All alone. I know who the DT killer is, or the Stratford Strangler, whatever the name, I know who he is. And I wish I could actually send this email. Send it in anonymous tip to the police with his name. Don't even know if police stations have email addresses. I could never call. I could never say it. I'm so scared. Every single second that I'm awake, And when I'm asleep too. It's getting harder to pretend when he's inside the house talking with us all like everything is normal around the dinner table. But I know I can't send this. How could I ever send this? Who would believe me? The police won't. And if he found out what I said, he would kill me just like he killed them. Of course he'd find out. He's practically one of them. This is just a practice, and maybe it will make me feel better knowing that I could send this, even though I can't. Talking it through with myself outside of my head. I know who the DT killer is. I saw him. I saw him with Julia Hunter. I know it was her 100%. They were holding hands. I saw him kiss her cheek, too. He doesn't know I saw them, and I wasn't that surprised to see them together. But then 6 days later, she's dead. He killed her. I know he did. I knew it as soon as I saw her face on the news. Everything fits now, all of those other details. I should have worked it out before this. I don't know why I contacted HH. I thought maybe she might know too, or have suspicions about who killed her sister, and I could have someone to talk about it with. Work out what to do together. But she doesn't know. She doesn't know anything. And I don't know why, but I feel like I have a responsibility to her to make sure she's okay. Because I know who killed her sister, and I don't know how to tell her. If someone touched Becca, I would be broken. I can't tell Sal. He probably already thinks I'm fucked up enough. There's so much I have to hide from him because he's one of the only good things I have left, and he has to be protected. He can never come over just in case. I have this overwhelming sense of dread all the time that if I don't escape this town, it's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. He's already started looking at me differently, or maybe that started years ago. I hope he doesn't look at Becca like that. But I have a plan, have had a plan for a while now, just need to keep my head down. I've been saving up all the cash from Howie for almost a year. It's hidden. No one will find it. I fucked up school, though, so fucking stupid of me. That would have been the easiest way to escape, a college far away. No one would suspect a thing, but the only one I got into is here, and I'd have to stay in Fairview. I can't stay at home. Sal got into Yale. I wish I could go with him. It's not so far away, but it's far enough. Maybe there's something I can do to go, too. If it's not too late. I have to do anything to get out of here. Anything. I know Mr. Ward helped him get his place. Maybe he can help me too. Anything. At all costs. And when I'm away and I'm safe, I'll come back for Becca. She has to finish school first. She has to. She's smart. But if I'm set up somewhere far away from here, she can come live with me. And when we are away and safe, maybe that's when I tell the police who he is. Maybe that's when I finally send this email from Anon. When he can no longer get to us, doesn't know where we are. That's the plan, at least. I have no one to talk it through with except myself, but it's the best I can do. I'll have to delete this now just in case. This feels too big for me, but I think I can do it. Save us, keep Becca safe, survive. I just have to, M.